mix it up today by using a combination of bar chords and simple triads for the iconic intro. Kicking off with the triad chords, these are going to be played over the strings 1, 2 and 3 only. First one being E flat on the 6th and 8th frets, moving down to the 4th and 6th fret, same shape, D flat, and then we're going into a refined simple version of the F major chord on the 4th fret, and this is going to be your A flat chord, and then we're going to move that to the 7th, and we've got a B major. So typically one strum each bar, repeat twice. We then move into the up-tempo verse progression, which is also doubled up as the chorus progression as well. And these are placed over the same chords, but they're in the bar chord version. So first up we have E flat major once again, D flat major, A flat, and B. So the strum pattern features throughout the song, fairly up tempo, down, up, down, up. Typically that's what I tend to play all the way through. You can vary it up as you go along. Once again, nice and slowly, down, up, down, up. So you got a quick chord change in between each chord. So start off nice and slowly, if you're fairly new to bar chords or chord changes, and then work your way up to song tempo. We go to the pre-chorus, two of those chords we played already, kicking off on the tonic chord, the open chord, which is going to be, or our first chord, which is going to be, once again, E flat to a D flat. And back again, and back to the D flat. And that there is our pre-chorus progression. So once again, you'll then kick into the chorus, which is the same as the verse. I'll play it through one more time. Moving nicely onto one more section of the song. Like I say, fairly straightforward, fairly simple one. So the bridge plays after the second chorus and sounds something like this. So the breakdown is, we start off with 2 bars of, once again, E flat. Then we move to our next chord, which is going to be B flat minor. So we're keeping our bar finger on fret 6 and we're moving to an E minor shape on fret 8. So that's played for 4 bars, however on the 4th bar we do have quite an iconic climb, which goes from the B flat minor to the C minor and then the D flat minor. So we're moving from the 6th fret to the 8th fret, same shape, to the 9th fret, same shape. Timing wise, sounds something like this. So the timing for that climb on the 4th bar would be 1, 4, which goes to our C minor, and we're back to 1 on the D flat minor, playing for another 4 bars. So now I'm going to play the track in full. You can use it as practice, as a backing track, or as a little guidance along the way. Starting off with the first chord, which is a D minor in a bar chord form. The easiest way to explain this or go about this is to place your first finger on the 5th fret. This is your bar finger, and then use fingers 2, 3 and 4 in the shape of A minor on frets 6 and 7th respectively. Next up we have the A minor 7, which is an easy progression. All we need to do is keep our first finger on the 5th fret as our bar finger, move our 2nd finger up 1 string, our 3rd finger up 1 string, and remove our pinky, making the 4th string open. This now becomes an A minor 7. So the strum pattern, starting with the D minor, takes a little bit of practice. It's got a couple of palm mutes in there for full authenticity, but I'm going to break it down in a slow progression as well as moving up to full song tempo. So looking at the strum pattern, looking at part 1, we have down, up, mute. Now when I say mute, I mean palm mute. For those of you who are new to the term palm mute, it's literally say what you see. You get your palm and you tap on your guitar to mute or dampen all the strings, dampen that sound. So we have down, up, mute. And then for part 2 of the strum, we have which is basically up, up, mute, repeated 3 times. Putting those together, we have I'll do a 4 bar progression using the D minor chord, and I will speed it up so I'll get close to song tempo now. The next step is, once you have that down confidently, we then need to focus on the chord changes, in this case going from D minor to the A minor 7. Now once you have that down, once you're confident with that strum pattern, you can then start to look at the chord changes, which are also important for the song. In this case, we're going to move from the D minor onto the A minor 7. Now this brings me on nicely to the next important step, which is the iconic key changes in the song. As mentioned before, we're using the same chords, we're just moving all the shapes along 1 fret. So the first one we're going to come to on the first key change is the chord of D sharp minor. Starting on fret 6 with your bar finger. And the second chord that features is now A sharp minor 7. Sounds complicated, but it's literally just a copy and paste of the first chord you had in the first section. Now what I'll do is I'll put together a little play along section at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the Triad version, which is set up more for beginner guitarists, an easier version, or for those of you who are not too comfortable playing bar chords. The first shape we've got for the D minor, you can think of it like walking up some steps on your fretboard. You're going to start with your first finger on the 5th fret 1st string, second finger 6th fret 2nd string, third finger 7th fret 3rd string. Now the all important thing about triads is that we only play the strings that we're fretting. We have our fingers placed on. Really important. We don't want any of these open notes if we can avoid. And then the second shape that we need is basically going to be a smaller version of an F major chord. For those of you not familiar with F major, all we need to do is a mini bar, or take our first finger, place it on the 5th fret, string 2 and 1, so we're using one finger to cover 2 strings, and then your second finger will be placed on the 6th fret 3rd string. This mini bar alone can be a little bit of a challenge if you're not used to it, but I highly recommend you attempt it, keep practicing, because this is a key component or a key chord in a lot of guitar songs anyway, so you'll be one step ahead. So this here in this shape is now going to be, this chord we're using is an A minor 7. Now, as an added bonus, I'm going to put in a small little intro riff, which is the horn section right at the beginning of the song for you solo guitarists out there. Fairly straightforward. We're just going to use pretty much 4 notes for the riff, okay, and it's repeated twice. So an easier one for beginner guitarists, and sounds something like this. Pretty simple, eh? So now we come to the play along section where you can put your new skills to the test.